Are we rolling?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Wenzel's Farm. That's my sponsor, a different sponsor. Thank you, Haven Poker, for bringing you the Power Trip After Party. I'm sorry. You know, it's weird. We'll talk about Haven Poker in a minute. I was just walking down the hallway. My right butt cheek, only my right butt cheek, is so sore I can barely walk, and I have no idea why. That's getting old in a nutshell.
Not exercising?
I don't remember doing, and if it was exercise, it would be both my right and my left. I have no idea what I might have done to hurt my right butt cheek. All right, back to you. Haven Poker.
Yeah, Haven Poker. Download the app. It's super fun. You can play poker against your friends. It's a heads-up poker match. It's super fun. Haven Poker, Hayvin, Haven Poker on the App Store. It's free to play. It's free to download it. Install it. Get it. Play it.
Right.
Haven Poker.
Right.
Download it today.
I love it. I'm going to play it right now.
Super fun. Promo code PowerTrip. Do you remember the concert you played when your ball was hanging out but you didn't know it?
Yeah, for sure. That was the Varsity Theater.
Did you know it? What point in the night did somebody tell you your ball was out?
Dude,
End of the night?
I promise you this is exactly how it happened. I put my foot up on the stage monitor, and the reason I didn't have underwear on was because my pants were too tight. Mm-hmm. But at the time, I was fitter than I am now, so I didn't mind that the pants were tight. So I put my leg up, and that's when it ripped, which was the very first song of the night. Mm-hmm. But I had no idea. And apparently the rip kept getting bigger, and I didn't know until people in the front row were motioning at it to show me that it was hanging out. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. So that was about, by the time it was fully out, when the lady took the picture of my left testicle, that was about the fifth song.
See, that's even better than you finding it out at the end of the night, because you having a ball out for most of a show is how I felt about us fucking up Ryan Wright's name last night.
Yeah. That's so embarrassing.
I thought we were killing it. I'm like,
so
we're doing really
yeah.
good. It's smooth. We're nailing it. We're not stuttering. We're not fucking up any of these bits. We got it.
Someone told us that was his name. Somebody told us that was his name.
It almost has to be, man.
Yes.
Right?
Because you and I
But we
would
know
go,
it's not.
But
Why
it's
did
not.
we not catch
no,
it?
I don't know, because and this is not ripping anybody, but there were a couple of guys there that are fringe players who were doing a very nice thing that may not make the roster.
Hey, stop there for a second. Just maybe Zach heard this, but Hawk, this is. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah, go ahead.
But there were a couple of players on the team I had never heard of, right?
Sure.
So that's a little dicey. You're like,
New guys,
how do you say this guy's name?
Right.
I don't know if he's a practice squad guy. I don't know who this is. But so much so that a current player on the team, we asked one of them, like, hey, what's this guy's name? And he goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I at one point I showed him the name, and I'm like, how do you say this? He goes, that's a guy on our team? Yeah. So even if I showed him the name. So other players a couple of times are like, I don't even know who that is. Ryan Wright is not one of them.
No, exactly.
I know who Ryan Wright is.
Yes.
Right.
But somebody, like Saw said, I don't know how it got in our head that it was Nate. But then we never heard it in our heads that it was wrong.
Right.
And we just kept fucking saying it.
That's just the worst.
I felt so bad. I felt like my ball was out of a hour and a half concert.
I completely get it.
And nobody tells me that my ball's out until song 12.
Yeah. That's
the worst. You asked
I felt so
multiple questions, Corey, and you were on top of it, and you at one point go, who is that? And someone said, that's Nate Wright.
Do you honestly remember who it was?
You know who it was?
You do know
yeah,
who it was?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so the other reason why this is the other reason that we got unlucky is Ryan Wright's dugout was the opposite one, right?
Yeah.
So again, like we're trying to look across the field, like, all right, who's up next? Because there's no batting order. It's like, who's up next? So like sometimes you can't tell.
And a couple of them had the same hat on, and it was like,
right. So if he had been in our dugout right behind us, because we were on the offense side of the dugout, not the defense and special teams, then we would have been like, oh, it's Ryan Wright's up next, the punter. But for whatever reason, when we were asking for help, like, I can't see who is that? Who's up next? Maybe that's what happened. And again, you sound more convinced than I do that that's what happened, because I don't remember.
That's what happened.
I can't believe we didn't catch it, man. I felt so bad.
Somebody told us.
But what is it about special teamers? DePaula's the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
Greg Joseph, great dude, yeah.
And when Ryan started walking over to us last night, I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And he couldn't have been nicer.
I'm so glad to hear. He
couldn't have been nicer.
Dude,
He's
man.
like, dude, I thought it was
he
super funny. I'm like, I feel so bad. He goes, oh, I don't give a shit. Who cares?
Yeah,
it was
he
funny.
laughed.
Yeah.
And again, I loved that Kirk was like, keep doing it.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Keep calling him
Kirk,
Nate. I'm like, nah, now that I know that I'm fucking up, I'm definitely going to go back.
You got to believe there's 28 out of 32 starting NFL quarterbacks who probably have never even spoken to the punter, let alone have the kind of relationship with their punter where they could make jokes with him and goof with him and stuff like that. I'm telling you, we are lucky to have that dude, man.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have him as our quarterback. We really are.
I'm not saying this, but like they legitimately like one another.
Yeah.
Like you and this probably wouldn't be the same way 3 or 4 years ago. They are happy to be around each other. They all get along. They all razz each other. They get real competitive. TJ Hawkinson was super competitive about the
By the way, TJ can play a little bit, right? He rocked a couple of balls
and made a couple of sweet catches. But
crowd loved TJ.
Yeah, they loved him. KJ they loved.
Yep.
But it was just they all legitimately like each other, and none of them have to go to that.
No, yeah.
But the starting offensive line was there. Brian O'Neill showed up even though he wasn't playing, and he sat next to Corey and I most of the time.
That's a big dude.
Darisaw is a gigantic dude.
Darisaw
that's a big dude, too.
He also didn't play, but he was there.
Massive.
Can you text me who told us the name? Because I don't remember who did that. I can't wait to find out who may have put it in our heads and then just us didn't. Again, still ultimately our fault for not catching it. Because I don't know why we didn't hear ourselves say it incorrectly. But now we got to get Ryan on the show. And DePaula still.
Yeah,
that's a year in the making.
That would be fun. I'd love to have those guys in to play initials. That'd be fun. I bet they'd both probably do really well.
Yeah.
He's texting right now. Must be a very long name.
Got it. Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Got it.
But
that makes sense.
But because I specifically remember we were like going through it, we were writing stuff down and trying to keep track of a bunch of things because it wasn't the same group that was there last year where there was like 8 people. We were like the only ones there pumping up the crowd, whatever, which was fine. But we were doing like 8 things, and you or somebody got to the point, and you were like, and that person said Nate Wright, because that's where I got it. Because then there were a couple of times I'm like, yeah, that's okay. Nate Wright, 14. All right, he must be like I don't know, a defensive end or something.
3rd string quarterback.
Yeah,
right,
correct. And I'm like
5th string quarterback.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Or it's an undrafted free agent. I'm like, yeah, Nate Wright makes sense.
Yeah.
It almost sucks that Ryan Wright is a super nice guy. How great would it have been for the show if after the game he just came up to us and motherfucked us? Like, hey, assholes.
Right.
Like,
I know
really?
I'm the punter.
Like, I'm the punter and you got everybody else's name right, but fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
come on, it's all access.
And you didn't correct it once. Yeah. Like, that would have been better for the show if Ryan Wright had just a blood feud with the two of us for the rest of time.
Be a great bit.
But he was like the exact opposite, and I was in some ways disappointed that he was so nice.
Yeah, he was
like if he would have thrown a punch,
and
I could have sued Ryan Wright,
that would have been great.
That would have been great.
Your pussy ass would have fallen to the ground.
So
would mine, though. So would have mine.
I think any of us would.
Yeah,
dude,
I would have gone, ugh.
My head's small. He might have missed mine.
Yeah, mine he would have hit. He's standing on the other side of the dugout. Yeah, they were all great. It's a super fun event. Harrison Smith thanked Corey and I multiple times.
Nice
He's very nice. Yeah, Zach literally stared at one player the entire time. But
you want to talk about that, Zach, or not?
No. Oh. No, but here's the thing, though, Zach.
No.
I admire that about you because, you're you, man. You don't change who you are. But I've never seen you ogle somebody like I did last night.
Ooh.
Right?
I guess.
Ryan Wright?
I was pretty tired.
Which is fine, though. Who
cares?
cares?
I was in control of my head.
Because,
I mean,
if there was...
I mean...
Yeah.
No, it was a fun night, though. I mean, that whole thing is really, really cool. The fans, they turned up. I mean, it's a tough night to go out. Wednesday nights aren't the easiest to make plans for.
Somebody, I forgot who it was, somebody yesterday said, I'd expect every Vikings fan to come out to this because you see them not doing football.
Right.
And I also, by the way, I kind of like that world-class athletes suck at something.
Yeah.
There were 3 or 4 players just swinging and missing like we would, right? Like just
Andrew
slow
Booth,
pitch softball
but man, that catch
and
he made,
whiffing.
Who?
Really?
Andrew Booth made the catch at the wall and has so much athletic ability and like one step hopped the fence.
But one of those moments,
incredible.
it was an unbelievable catch/play, but that's one of those plays where if he has to jump over that fence and then breaks his arm, That's the last year of the softball tournament.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And that was my first thought. Is the
running back's
crowd went
name?
crazy because it was an awesome defensive play, super dramatic. I'm going this is like that Robert Edwards.
That's it, running back out of Georgia. That's
bit
it.
from the Pro
rookie.
Bowl 20
Yeah.
years ago. And you call it off. You say that's the last one.
One of the players, when they did that bouncy thing, I'm like, oh, boy, that looked
they almost
awful for their
collided
knees.
at home plate.
Yeah, or even, how about when Cam Bynum ripped a single and he's wearing sandals and socks? And I'm like, he's sprinting down first base.
Yeah.
If he slips and falls because he's running in sandals,
yeah.
they're calling this thing off in the second inning.
And they called off all the games because they're like, somebody.
How about even like Kirk Cousins was playing right field in like the fourth or fifth inning, and a ball got hit to him.
Yep.
And he caught it, but everybody's like on edge, going,
Same.
"Don't run, Kirk! Don't run! Don't run!
say,
Don't run! Just let it drop."
Routine fly ball was enough for me to pucker up a bit.
Yeah, don't make any effort. Let it fall. Who cares?
Somebody gets hurt in the first inning, it's over.
Yeah,
it's over. Yeah.
Yeah, that Booth catch would have been one of those Kevin O'Connell moments. What the fuck are you doing?
If he'd been there,
Let
he would.
the ball bounce off the
cares?
fence.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But they're super competitive about it, man.
Because they're athletes.
Yeah.
They care.
Yeah.
And not only did we see world-class athletes swinging and missing, we also saw about 4 linemen drop pop-ups.
Yes.
And you can tell that they're like, God damn
that
it.
was fun.
Yeah.
Right. They could eat a softball.
Yeah.
They're so manly. But they dropped a pop-up and they wanted to kill themselves.
Yeah, there was a couple
what?
defensive linemen, and the offensive line had a field day with it.
Oh,
They're like,
man.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
so much.
just easy.
Nice catch,
used to-
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
just trash talking
Christian
each other.
Darrisaw was laughing the whole time. Yeah.
We were when we had the guys from the Wild in. That was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, right. We were talking about how Mike Modano is playing in that All-Star game, and I asked Parrish about him, and he said he probably hasn't skated in 10 years, and he'll come out and he'll be better than everybody on the ice. He said he's just like that. He's better at everything than everybody else all the time, no matter what. And I looked at Mark and I go, that's how you are with us mortals.
Yep.
You're better at everything than we are. If I could, have raced bicycle motocross for 10 years and be at the top of my game, you could get on a bicycle, take the training wheels off, and blow my doors off. That's how Mike Modano is to pro athletes, he said.
Parrish is fantastic at golf.
Yeah.
Ping pong.
Yeah.
Pool. At shuffleboard at my house, he gets he's not even mean about it. You can tell that the fact that he's not elite is like really bothers him.
Really.
Not in a dick way.
Yeah.
He's never rude. It's almost like internal pressure. Like he's like, God, why am I not? Like, Mark, you're pretty good at this. But the fact that he doesn't dominate drives him nuts. I think you have to have that in you to get to where Mark got.
Yeah.
But that's why we said, though, if we ever do a power trip bar Olympics, Parrish is the massive favorite.
Yeah.
Because he's good at all of those things.
He's good at
every
everything.
single one of those things.
I like
Bowling,
I
probably.
like throwing darts.
Darts is fun,
I got
man.
to get a dart machine again. That was fun.
I thought you had one, didn't you?
I had one for the longest time, and then it kind of stopped working right, so I sold it to Pat, who's getting married to Suzanne on Saturday. Congratulations, by the way. And he fixed it up. Now it looks like a brand new dart machine.
Well, it was
for
like
his
a
basement.
bar.
It was a real one. Yeah, I got it from the dude.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like-
yeah.
You prefer cricket or 301 or what do you?
301.
301 is
Yeah,
your
I like
game?
301's fun. Yeah.
301's fun.
You know who's really good at darts? My buddy Luke.
You gotta give us a chance to guess.
All right, fuck off.
I would have definitely guessed Luke, though.
I was
Just
going to
looking
guess
at him.
Ryan Wright, Vikings punter.
Nate Wright.
Does
No.
your elbow ever get sore after playing darts for a while?
I don't think I've ever played long enough for my elbow to get sore.
Do your elbows get sore?
Yeah, well, not my elbows, but like I like a muscle that's like way too weak in
You
here.
might need Tommy John.
Yeah, you may beat off too
I
much.
might have, but I think I would have thought that would help build the muscle.
Fuck
but every
off,
time I
Tom.
play darts, I love playing it. I just get sore.
Yeah, do you play ATD?
Yeah. Do you?
I have before.
That's hot.
Attaboy.
Some birthdays we didn't get to today on the show, and a couple of them have something to do with the show. We'll start at number 1, who's 50 years old today, Heidi Klum.
Ooh, Heidi Klum.
Man.
50.
50 years old.
Wow.
We've told the story. It's a story as old as time on the power trip, but I'll never forget her in that little baseball cap
Yep.
dancing to that James Brown song in that chair in that studio in there.
Well, and again, I'll never forget it because I remember I played the song coming back from break, and I played "The Look" by Roxette,
Yeah.
and you go, "What are you doing?" I'm like, because she's like pretty or whatever. And then she said she liked James Brown.
Yeah.
So you flipped it to James Brown, and she just started grooving.
She started grooving. Look at her. That's 50 years old. Look at her.
Yeah, she.
Wow.
And she had almost no makeup on. She was in town for some Mall of America Rotunda Victoria's Secret show or something. I don't remember what it was.
Look at that.
And almost no makeup on, and she stopped time.
She's
right?
Swedish, is that right?
I believe so.
Because she had a cute accent, too.
She's a 20 and a half.
I bet she's a 100 millionaire, probably more than that, right? When you say, I bet she's multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think?
I mean, probably. She's a unicorn.
Yeah,
like
she
again,
really
it's
is something.
I've only been around a handful of people in my life that do that, where you just when Heidi Klum walked in the room, even if she wasn't famous, you'd have been like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Not even in a creepy way. You're just
Yeah.
like, geez. And she definitely was in that group where it just didn't seem fair. It didn't seem real.
Yeah.
Stunning
Pretty,
is the only
crazy.
word.
Today, so that's obviously pertains to the show for obvious reasons. This guy pertains to the show because Saucy's preoccupation with serial killers. Today's the 70th birthday of David, son of Sam Berkowitz.
Happy birthday, Berkowitz!
I didn't know he was still alive, yeah.
I didn't know. Was it a documentary that came out a year or two ago on the Son of Sam thing on Netflix? There's a lot of whatever.
That's the one where they're not sure he was the only one.
There's a lot of reason to believe that he wasn't the only one involved, and the documentary is very good because it goes to isn't it North or South Dakota, the Dakotas?
Yeah, Fargo, I
where
think.
There's someone
There's
connected
a base,
to it. There's like a cult connection.
Yeah.
And that they used him. Yeah, he's...
what did he do?
He shot
6 people.
Allegedly shot people in cars.
In the mid-'70s in New York, received 6 life sentences for killing 6 people.
Yeah.
He is currently at the Sullivan Correctional Facility in Fallsburg, New York, at the age of 70.
Yeah. But he has said in multiple, and whatever, he's nuts, but he's said in multiple interviews that he is not the only one involved, and there's a tape somewhere that people have hidden. There was like a director in Hollywood who had a fascination for snuff films that's connected to it. It's a fucked up scenario, but yeah.
The dog made him do it.
Yeah, he said that, yeah.
Wasn't that him? He wasn't the dog made him do it guy?
Yeah,
that's what I thought,
him, yeah.
Right.
I mean, he did something, but there's like a cult connection in the back of the apartment building he was living at.
Yeah,
where this
remember
cult
the back door and all that stuff. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Hawk loves when we do this, but let's just do this quickly. The George Carlin bit about how people always have them voices in their heads tell them to do terrible things. Yeah. How come a guy never hears a voice that says, "Go take a shit down the salad bar at Wendy's"?
Right.
Right. Why don't you take your dick out on a Ferris wheel?
A merry-go-round. Yeah.
He's like, why don't people?
or his bit about how it's the quiet ones you got to watch. I'll bet you 10 times out of 10 that if you're sitting in a bar and there's a guy over in the corner not bothering anybody, and a guy walks in on the shit, he goes, "I'll kill the next motherfucker who comes in here." Who are you gonna watch? That bit's fucking brilliant.
That is funny.
Yeah.
That actually is funny.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It's the quiet ones you gotta watch.
What I love about the "go take a shit" on the salad bar at Wendy's bit is I'm not the age where I don't remember Wendy's salad bars.
Yeah. Well, I do, yeah.
I just don't remember that. And of course, I never got the salad
Sauce
bar.
remembers walking by him.
Yeah, I walked by it to get my 5th double. Out of my way, bitch.
Give me the chili with the cheese.
Man.
Oh, man.
I love
chili,
Wendy's.
right?
The only time I've ever gotten food poisoning was Wendy's chili.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But everything else at Wendy's wails.
Man, and the chili wails too. And when it doesn't give you food poisoning.
The shits.
So we're doing this show right now. It's an all-request show at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater.
What time will that be?
It's tonight. That's not why I'm telling you this, but it's tonight. I think we go on at 8. But we play there tonight and tomorrow, and then we go to St. Cloud. Anyway, it's an all-request show. And so people were able to go on FabulousArmadillos.com and request songs they want to hear us play. So we're playing these just epics. I think I sing 19 songs in this show. It's a lot. And we do like Bohemian Rhapsody without any tracks, by the way. It worked out well. We do Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. We do Rosalita. All these 7-8 minute songs.
Anything semi-modern or new?
So that's the reason I bring it up. We also Heidi sings Alanis Morissette, who's 49 today, by the way.
Happy birthday, Alanis.
I want you to
know.
You
and Berkowitz.
Did you know, and this is Patrick Thorne, the trumpet player, told me this, that line, I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner. Bob Saget told somebody in an interview that he was at the dinner when she called Dave Coulier.
Yeah.
And that's what that line is about her calling him during that dinner. And Bob Saget said he was at the table when she called. It was a very uncomfortable room.
Yeah, well, that you ought to know, or what's the? It's like you're so vain. Like she's never said who it's about,
right?
But everybody I'm not
it's supposed to be Dave Coulier is what everybody thinks.
Everybody thinks, and isn't You're So Vain about Warren Beatty?
Warren Beatty is what everybody thinks. Yeah.
Doesn't he have a monster crank?
That's again.
Zach, Google Warren Beatty's penis.
Believe it or not, I'm going to have to just take it as hearsay.
Well, I wouldn't do that if it's massive. Oh, yep, he does.
Are there pictures of it?
Oh, good.
Were you asleep?
Yeah.
Warren Beatty. Remember when he fucked
Beatty?
up?
That's what you're going to do in a little bit.
Yeah, you're going to Warren your Beatty. Or Beatty your Warren.
What?
God damn it. I don't know.
Zach, how would you describe yourself when you look at that gentleman? Warren? Beatty.
Brilliant. See, that's funnier.
Morgan Freeman is 86 today.
Sauce, do your Morgan Freeman impression. It's outstanding. It's outstanding. I love when you do
really
it.
Well.
Dude, when you remember that was like your closer in your stand-up act
remember?
during Blood, Sweat, and Tears or whatever it's called, Flop, Sweat, and Tears. Do your Morgan Freeman.
The only impression I do well is Lars.
Do it again.
I got to hear it again. Hawk, how does he talk?
Well, yeah, you know.
Yeah, he says.
That's Baba Booey.
I'm in this band. It's called Metallica.
Pretty good.
My
man.
name's Lars.
That's pretty good.
That's
I
pretty
hate
good,
Napster.
Okay, now do your Morgan Freeman.
I don't have a Morgan Freeman. I just have a Lars.
Speaking of Baba Booey, on Howard 101 the other day,
yeah.
I didn't know where the nickname came from. I learned that the other day.
Oh, really?
You don't? I know.
I know now. I didn't know before.
Yeah, it's a very famous bit.
It's because it's all over YouTube. It's got like tens of, but he was early in the show, correct me if I'm wrong.
He finally started making money.
Yeah, he started collecting comic, what are they, stills or?
Yeah, like
it was there for a minute.
Frame thing. The what the hell is it called? Cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cell.
But it's a real confidence booster when there's four of us in this room and one of us is asleep because of the content.
I'm trying to remember.
No.
Baba Booey.
But he
says
bed, buddy. He means Baba Louie.
Yeah, right.
And he says Baba Booey. Yeah. And naturally, they fucking buried it for him.
But he didn't misspeak. He thought that's what it was.
That was the name,
was Baba Booey.
And then the rest, I heard
Baba
the clip when the rest of the crew's like,
that's Baba Booey.
Why are you saying Baba Booey? Yeah. And Gary is convinced that's what it is, and the rest of them are telling him, no, it's Baba Louie, dude. The one that this thing that you want so badly. You don't even have the name right.
Yeah.
And then he kept saying it, Baba Booey, Baba Booey. So I didn't even know that soundbite was Gary saying it wrong.
Baba Booey.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the best is they have every once in a while on Howard 101 when they go in between bits or like they transition from one bit to the other. They just play Baba Booey covers or parody songs,
bits,
and they're
some of them are very
fucking
good,
brilliant.
Some of them are very good. I think I really...
Bolf.
So I got hired in 97. But that was 97, 98, and 90 at the very beginning of 99. I think those were for me the best years of Howard because they were still on terrestrial radio. But they had to be funny without the curse words.
Yep.
And Jackie the Joke Man was still on there, but you had everybody, man. You had the whole original Whack Pack was on there.
Yep.
Beat Crackhead Bob.
Crackhead Bob.
What was the guy?
Hank the Angry Dwarf.
The guy who was the stutterer, John
the Stutterer. Stuttering John.
Stuttering John,
yeah.
Melendez.
Those guys, there was some real hatred between here and Gary. I just
Jesus Twins. Remember the Jesus
Twins?
Twins?
Oh, my God, yeah. I loved Jackie the Joke Man, because he would laugh, but you knew when it was his joke because he laughed so hard that it was like it was a tell. That was if he laughed really, really hard, it was something he had written and slid over to Howard. But man, what a good show. What a good show that was. It's still good, but for different reasons now.
Yeah,
you board opt that basically, right?
Yeah. So I'll just tell everybody real quick in case I don't. So the show would come in live, and I would record it and then run it an hour later. And so I would have to cut out their commercials and put in our commercials. So I had to listen to the entire thing, but I also had to edit anything that, in Minneapolis's opinion, would be too dirty for air here. So I had to listen to the entire show and take out anything that I thought might be controversial. And also, take out the spots, and then run it back again an hour later on a different computer.
Were you part of it when the Bernard Howard Stern thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
In fact, I was one of the people with what the hell was the guy's name? He was a really
Cabby?
weird. No, Cabby came in at the very end there because I think he got let go by 93X or something like that, or he left 93X and went there for just a smidge, but he wasn't with them for very long. But there was a weird guy who always went and protested in any market, and he came here, and we went to a Tom Bernard bit.
Was it Mancow?
No. It wasn't another radio guy. It was just
okay.
Anyway, but so we went to St. Paul to some event Bernard was doing and just heckled the hell out of him. So yeah, I was a part of all that. And you know, Tom did the right thing. He ignored it.
Yeah,
all of
ignored
it.
it.
Never mentioned Howard Stern's name.
Yep.
Didn't change a thing.
It's the only market it didn't work in, right?
Yeah. Worked in every other. And you know, to say it didn't work was crazy because I think he was number 2 and, you know, took a piece of Bernard, but we were paying him at the time so much money that he had to win in order for it to work. And
Yeah.
it didn't
Wow.
work. Yeah.
And he would get paid individually by each
Market. Yep.
Jesus.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I believe, I'm sure I'm wrong, but I think it was reported that the number was $750 a year or something like that.
Must be rough.
Yeah.
So when you
He's
cut
the GOAT.
things though,
Yeah.
like how did you you had to obviously make it sound somewhat.
Oh yeah.
You'd have to cut entire segments, I would imagine.
For sure.
right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I
times?
sometimes, and I got more lackadaisical with it at first. But the guy who was the GM when we first signed on was the first 2 Howard Stern shows that ever ran in the Twin Cities. He literally stood behind me over my shoulder and told me what I should cut.
Really?
Because he you know, that was his job. He didn't want to violate the FCC laws, and I cut quite a bit. And that was where I made my bones, man, because I was pretty good at editing stuff. Especially on the Saw program. Do you remember Saw?
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
That was my thing, man. I was really good at that. And it was weird though, man. I always found that to be a very strange thing that they just gave me the reins to choose what I edited out of one of the greatest radio shows in the history of radio.
Right.
I could edit whatever, like I had any idea what was good and bad.
Wow.
And it's in a lot of ways, it's insulting to think that like Minneapolis can't handle what the rest of the country can.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
That they cast you. Look, we're a little softer here, so get rid of the bad stuff. It's like, we can handle it. We're adults.
You're exactly right. And obviously, I didn't complain like I would have today. But I did think it was even, at the time, I even thought it was odd. Like, why? And I had only been here, this was 97, so I'd only been here 3 years. And I was like, what's wrong with Minneapolis that they can't handle this stuff, you know?
And you wonder if Howard had ever found out that was part of it. Like, wait a minute, I'm in Minneapolis, but they're not getting the true show? Like,
He used to get calls from people saying, "Hey, they're editing your show in Minneapolis."
I'd be furious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He would get. Yeah.
Especially by the way, if you're losing a Bernard and you're not used to losing,
Right.
and then you're hearing that kind of shit, you'd be like, "Well, we're not getting full representation here." And then somebody finds out, "Well, yeah, Chris Hockey's editing all the good stuff out of your show," and Howard goes, "Fire that motherfucker!"
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm sure he would have. And he did raise hell with Andy Bloom.
And it wouldn't have been your fault.
No, for sure. He raised hell with Andy Bloom. I remember Andy a couple of times being called to the carpet and having to call in and answer the question about why he was being edited in our market. But but they sent me to his birthday party, and that's again one of the coolest things ever. I just happened to go to Howard's birthday party when David Bowie was the surprise guest, and it was a little tiny, I can't even think of a small sized theater. It wasn't as big as the Northrop, and I was standing there with all the whack pack and everybody, and they announced we have our special guest, and out walked fucking David Bowie,
man,
and he played about 4 songs, and I was like, I can't believe this is the craziest thing ever.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
what a
that's
career.
Neat, man. Yeah,
Only there was a
cool.
movie
I learned a
about
lot,
it.
man. I did. I learned a lot about how to do in radio from that show. I wish I could apply it.
Well, that's mostly on us. All right. After party, thanks. Again, if you're listening to this on Thursday,
please,
June 1st, initials tomorrow. That's going to be fun. Carly's playing for the first time in a long time. That'll be cool to see her again. We saw her last week, but it'll be cool to see her. And I guess that'll do it.
Can I ask you one question real quick?
Go.
I want a prediction from you guys. Are we going to get talked to at all about this morning, do you think, when we leave this state? Because I'm going to go down and take a poop, and then I'm de-assing the area. I find that the best way to handle this most of the time.
I don't know. If I'm you, I just walk down there.
Just to see what they say?
Yeah, because...
I mean, obviously, I was the biggest offender this morning, but even that said, I did what they told me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super curious to hear the response.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I don't know. Maybe we should just do laps until something
Yeah,
happens.
How
How long can you hold this one in?
Yeah.
Can we do 4 laps and just see if we get stopped?
Well, it might be perfect to keep it in case they do get mad at me because I'll just leave a fog
Yeah,
in their
you'll,
office.
you'll just fucking gurgle
Excuse me
shit.
for 1 second. I'm going to shit on the Wendy's
Salad
Go
bar.
take a
bar.
shit on the salad bar at Wendy's. I could
That
love
kinda
it.
sounded like that one guy.
Never says that.
Be raising a literal stink.
Yeah. That's the last thing he ever did is he shit on the desk. It would be classic, though. I'd be remembered forever.
Well, didn't
They fired him. He shit on the desk and left.
fucking Morris's dog shit here once and
Oh,
he
yeah.
left it?
Yeah,
was
he
in
put it in the
Bloomington.
trash can.
Bloomington too, right? Was it Bloomington?
No, that was here, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It seems that in my memory, it seems like it was here.
I feel like maybe it was both.
Yeah, he probably did. But I
Didn't
do
he
remember
shit
it was a
for pissing
Rottweiler, and he shit. No, I'm sorry, I could be wrong. He may have put the shit in the lunchroom trash bag because he put his dirty diaper in the studio trash.
That he peed in after the show
After
was
the
over.
show.
Classic Morris.
Man, goddamn, was he funny?
God, yeah.
God
Fuck.
damn, man.
He's one of the funniest people ever.
No doubt about it. All right,
Yep.
thanks, everybody. Thank you, Haven Poker.